Okay, right. Let's get that off before anybody sees that. Let's. No, it's not going off. No. Okay, it's off. It's off. It's off. It's off. It's off. It's off. Okay. Hi everyone. How we doing? Woo! Let's ping over 700 people because that's what we do. My guest has arrived.
Hello. I
Hello.
didn't know we started.
No, I just started early for the sake of it.
Ah,
I felt like being weird, so
it's
don't
always good to
don't
be
watch
weird
the
every now
VOD
and then.
back,
No.
of course. Um, but yeah, we need our time. You've already got a question
Oh, have
from
I?
JT. We're going straight in with the questions.
Oh God. Okay. Shoot, I need to get the
Go
chat
for
up,
it,
so you're
JT.
gonna have to read it.
I will read it. Uh, how has oh, for God's sake, there's an advert. How has Loveland his evening be during this world event? I have no idea what that means.
I'm assuming. So,
How has your
now
evening been?
now we're gonna have to talk about world.
We, it's inevitable, isn't it?
I didn't
Yeah,
think it would happen so early.
I think we're good to
Oh,
go.
well, I think we'll save that for a safety car. I think that chat. But if you ignore the world stuff, I've had a great evening. Thank you, JT. But I think it's too early in the stream to do politics.
Yeah,
So
safety car reserved chat.
yeah,
I don't even want to go there. Like my brain this afternoon, reading everything and all the different opinions and
it's painful.
the announcements. It has been painful from a tournament standpoint, but we're here doing our own thing. It's the AEC mini series. It's round 6 and the final round where second place is all to play for. Paradox Sim Racing wrapped up the title last week in Brazil, taking a 1-2. They're now up onto 207 points with 56 more to play for. NRX trailing on 120, NVR on 116. And unfortunately, there's another big topic which we might have to delve into, and that
Oh
is, of
God.
course, TV8's closure.
Yeah, came out of nowhere really. I woke up one morning and getting pinged saying TVA had closed. Bit of a shock, and I don't really know why because I haven't thought to ask. But bit of a shock and leaves a bit of a gap in the Xbox space. But obviously we've seen drivers go elsewhere. Arch has gone to PSR, I believe, with TK. Brett is one of us now at NRX, helping out with engineering management. And I'm not quite sure where the other drivers have gone, but it's a shame to see them fall. But yeah.
It is. It is. It did come out of nowhere, and I've just realised I'm playing the copyrighted soundtrack, aren't I? So
Oh God.
that's not a good start. Tom has done so much worse with this channel. I have no idea how it's still standing, but there you go. Back to the good old F1 theme. Where are you getting those standings from? Ah, it's funny you asked that, Fox, because I'm getting them from youtube.com/BelleraFox. So that Monday video next week is going to be brilliant.
Ooh.
And by the way, if you have missed anything from AEC, that is your place to get a little bit of a bite size. So I could not recommend it highly enough at the moment.
Yeah, it's good to see the console community being covered. I feel like it's always been missing something. You kind of turn up your race, you have a few arguments, and you get on with your day. But nice to keep track of everything, and hopefully this will make it into the highlights tonight. Because last time we commentated, Joseph, was the AEC final, and that was absolute carnage. And we are here for the AEC final tonight. So if it's anything like last time, I'm sure it will make for an absolutely great video for the YouTube.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, luckily it's only second place that's being fought for rather than the title. But NRX could get you on the edge of your seats as we load in now to Abu Dhabi. Sorry it has taken a few minutes, but we do like to get things started nice and early. Bog standard 18-minute qualifying session and a 50% distance race coming in with 29 laps, I believe it is. I should know that by now, but I've not actually done too much Abu Dhabi, so it's nice to have a bit of a change, and we can thank Greenhorn for picking this track.
Yeah, thank you, Greenhorn. I mean, it's always a good place to end the season. Obviously, we saw the drama of 2021 in real life, and ever since then, it's been an absolute haven for carnage. And as I said just a minute ago, the AEC final last time, which saw NRX and PSR go at it, and that was absolute chaos. I think we had 3 safety cars, so many collisions everywhere you look. So hopefully it's a bit cleaner than that tonight. But you never really know with console, do you? So we'll just keep our fingers crossed. Hope for the best.
You don't know. You mentioned the chaotic finale last season. That was won, of course, by PSR Wilson ahead of NRX Rusty and TVA Ogween. Yeah, that sounds like an absolutely outrageous order.
It really does.
And that was on the 24th of April, or thereabouts.
And now we've got no Wilson, Rusty's at NRX, Ogween's at NRX. It's all shifted about. The silly season's over. And finally getting stuck in. I mean, I haven't really been about. But for me, this is my debut commentating. And I've only done one race this game. So this is basically the start of the game cycle for me. So, yeah, I'm excited.
I'm sick of this game already, honestly. I'm looking forward to the few weeks break after this before we get the season started on... Let me find the date. I should have had that prepared. It will be for Tier S, the 23rd of August. 21 days, 3 weeks today, we'll be racing in Qatar for the very first time in AEC. We've already had 3 Middle Eastern trips in the mini-series, culminating here in Abu Dhabi. And we're about to get the laps underway. And I believe first up will be, if I can find the driver, of course it's Stonks. Stonks is always out there first. He is keen to get the first lap on the board as he rounds turn 1. Plenty of curb on the exit. We'll see plenty of that throughout the course of the evening. Down through sector 1 now. It is looking like a very clean lap in terms of traffic.
Yep, into the very famous hairpin after that 2021 dive bomb from Max Verstappen. Gets a lovely exit, opens the DRS, and now it's just a long wait as you get down the main overtaking opportunity on this track. Obviously, you've got to play it tactical in the race because that second DRS zone, there's no separate detection points. Stonks gets it turned in very nicely. Hits both apexes perfectly. Don't want to use too much curb because the car will bottom out, but he gets a lovely exit. DRS now open. Cutting as far to the left as possible to cut as much time out of your lap. And the Sector 2 split is a 52.4, swings it in. Full commitment, doesn't want to lose the rear, but it looks absolutely planted. Uses all the curb on exit. Looks like a very clean banker so far. And now you come to probably the trickiest part of the track. A long, winded section of the circuit. And he goes a bit wide, but not too bad. It looks very clean from Stonks. He's clearly been doing his homework. And now out the penultimate corner, got to throw it into the final corner, traction down as well as you can, uses all the exit curb, and it's a 1:22.0. Not quite sure how good that is, but we'll soon find out. No.
Well, it's not bad. It's not bad, but rain has gone quicker. That's, I think, all we need to take away from that first run. A really valiant effort there by FRT Rain, who has returned following a brief spell away. I'll say that much. NRX Legrief going up to third with a 22.3. Now, the names are going to start to get a little bit confusing if you've been out of the loop for about a week. FRA Stokey, who still runs that name for a start, even though the team has ceased to exist for this entire calendar year. Was at TV8, won the first round in Silverstone, and now is a Shizou driver. And what a great guy he is, by the way. He's been pipped to fourth, however, by his teammate Bobbert, who's done exactly the same lap time as NVR Stonks. Liam Bowman up to second, beating his teammate. We've got some nice competition out there at the moment as Ogween goes even quicker by exactly a tenth of a second over FRT Rain. SLR Nico is the driver I'm watching at the moment. Round in the final corner, he has gone P11 and slowest of everybody that's set a lap time so far. We've got the two Mercedes cars as Ground Effect Spec Racing make a return in a different team. It is all got a bit pear-shaped, of course, as teams come and go. This is just natural. The cycle continues to go on. In the console esports world, and GSR Sam will be looking to make a statement return here.
Yep, someone else looking to make a statement. BRT Gabor comes through the final corner. He did an absolutely beautiful middle sector, and he goes onto the front row provisionally, just behind Ogween, maybe half a tenth behind, but very strong from Gabor, really coming into his own this game. Obviously, showed very strong performances in Big Twos last season, for those who kept an eye on that. And really shining. Very new to no assists, so it's good to see him shining. But yeah, as you said, got the GSR drivers, and GSR Jake just went straight on after the Sector 2 split. So no lap for him, but someone else making their debut, I believe, tonight. FGE Kui, it's good to see him on board. He's been at FGE for a long time now, a manager at the team. And he's trying his hand at the driving. Let's check the middle sector split. He's quite far off, bless him.
I mean, he's on the mediums.
He is on the mediums, that is true. No explanation for that one.
Race run. Get it done in quali, why not?
You know what, Joseph? That actually might be what he's doing, because he's 3 seconds down in the middle sector. So Kui clearly prioritising the race running compared to quali. Knows he doesn't have that quali pace in him, as there's a car right on the apex there. Not sure who that was. I think it was Ogween. I'm not sure if he's crashed or he's just trying to get out of the way, but Kui does a 25.6, so definitely on a race run.
Oh, he's out of fuel here. He's trundling just about 15 miles an hour on the inside curb. And of course, when you stop the car in the hard fuel setting, it's quite difficult to get it back going again. So some quite valuable time being wasted here, actually, getting back to the pit lane. But he should be good still to get 2 more runs in, as Stonks is actually, I think, first out again. Or is it PSR Arch? Now that's a strange name, isn't it? PSR Arch. Yep, he has joined Paradox Sim Racing. The worst kept secret over the last week was announced on Tuesday. But of course, it's a fantastic move for him. He won in TTC on Monday night, so he's coming into this race in some very good form.
Yeah, the new gamer tag, which I didn't even realise until now, he's finally changed. Obviously, Valor not paying enough to get Archie's gamer tag changed, clearly. But yeah, as you said earlier as well, Stokey gone to Shizou, which is actually news to me. I literally found that out as you just said that. So good to see that we've got all drivers going to different teams rather than just one direction. So lots of opportunity for race time for everyone, and they're all going to be competing at the highest level. And one of them, as you said, PSR Arch, starting his lap now.
He is, and down in towards turn number 5 then, and minimum speed about 70 miles an hour. Nicely done there, and he's going to get his 1 permitted slipstream from his teammate Wexro. And oh, it's great to see Wexro racing, isn't it? PSR nothing to play for in this mini-series anymore. Wexro would like some waste time. Oh wow, race time himself. And he's obviously good to see him. He is capable of a comeback or two, even if qualifying doesn't go his way. I believe he raced in BBS on Monday night as well. I wasn't able to catch that, so somebody will have to remind me of his results. But into the second sector now, PSR Arch really picking up the pace here and goes into the right-hander now of turn number 12. Quickly follows through in one swoop to turns 13 and 14. And exiting the hotel section now, Alpine very obedient there in just letting the AlphaTauri through, who rounds the final corner, and PSR Arch goes into the top 10, but it's not particularly convincing at this stage. And what is his first competitive lap for the team?
Yeah, I think he might be a bit disappointed with that. Obviously, got a toe as well, so you'd have to say that's an extra tenth. So without that, he's around 11th or 12th. So Arch got a lot of time to find. I think he had a bit of a scrappy turn one, went very wide. But yeah, as you said, PSR Wextro, he's in the lineup tonight. The main man at PSR. He's got nothing to lose. They're 80 points clear. Title's wrapped up. Might as well go in. I think he finished ninth the other day in BBS, so not a bad result. He's got the pace. Someone else who has the pace, MVR Stonks, the first man doing a second run, P1, the 21.7.
FRT Rain has just made a mistake at turn 9. He's now backed off on this run. Josh Gilly over a tenth and a half up after the first sector. So this might be a competitive lap for him and EXR, who currently sit in P7 in the championship. They'll be looking to make some final gains, potentially taking on Shizou for 6th spot. FRA Stokey of Shizou now, of course, into the final sector now, and I think there is a Williams crossing the line. That might be Firmsy, and he's just started a lap, so I am right to say that Stokey is the next car to cross the line. The round 1 winner goes quickest. What a statement lap that is for the new Shizou driver. Moves being made, and a big move there onto provisional pole.
Yeah, very good lap from Stokey, and it's looking very competitive across the field. We've got five different teams in the top 5, and that's exactly what you want to see, especially in the mini series. Got so many new drivers, so many new faces at new teams, and it's absolutely brilliant. And Wexroad went P15 for you Wexroad fans out there. Made a bit of a mistake in the second sector, but all good. Someone who is on the lap, I believe, is Lagreef. He's done a 52.5 in the middle sector, so he is a 10th down, and his teammate's going to have to get out of the way here. Comes into the final corner, looks a bit scrappy as Liam Bowman sets the pace, does a 6.18, 1/10 ahead of Stokey, and that is the new benchmark for the rest to go for.
It is, and he set the world record here on day 1 of the game. He took pole position in the NRC social race that was held around here with a 1 minute 21.5. So we're nearly there in getting down to what is possible on this year's game. But Liam Bowman, no surprise to see him on provisional pole at the moment. Such has been his progress. Who else have we got out there? FG Jacob, 4/10 down. Sam, 6/10 down. Wexrow on and in lap. Simbarox 1 down as well. Firmsy, Bobberts in lap. Josh Gilly coming in as well. Gabor, Lou. I think that might just do it, but I believe Ogween is pushing here, so slightly out of sync with the rest of the field. And he's a tenth and a half up. I tell you what, this could get really close to Liam Bowman's provisional pole time. He set the pace early on. It was beaten by Stonks, then Stokey, then Bowman in that order. But now Ogween has the opportunity to take it back underneath the hotel configuration. A really spectacular piece of architecture. But what's maybe even more magnificent is the pace that Ogween is setting. Rounding the final corner now and up to the line. Woo. He's gone quicker. And onto a 1:21.5, again matching that sort of time that I mentioned that Liam Bowman had previously set. But that is now the new benchmark.
Yeah, very clean lap. Found a whole 10th and a half in that final sector, so really strong from Ogween. Honourable mention for BRT Lou. I'm not aware of this driver, but he's in P5. He's mixing it up with the big boys. And yeah, he's ahead of his teammate Gabor as well after the second round of laps. So very strong performance from the BRT boys so far. PSR, I think, will be disappointed, but Arch is coming out for his second lap, so he'll be looking to get in the mix as well. But it's looking mega competitive, and that's just exactly what you want to see in the finale of a season.
Another shout out as well, going to Ginge of EXR. Now, he's just put in the no assist chat. Huge respect to the folk that run no line. This is pish.
Is this his first time?
It might be, but I'm more just reveling in the Scottish accent. Scottish people type in their own language.
They do have their own language.
They do. I love it. Honestly,
as a southerner as well, it's hard to decipher sometimes what they are saying, but we make the best of what we've got, and he comes into the pits now. I think we've got a bit of a dull period, Joseph, so time to whack out a fact, I think, or something.
Well, I mean, it is nice having you instead of Bowman.
Yeah.
Who, not Bowman. Sorry, Greenhorn. Oh God, I even get confused between those two. I mean, Greenhorn. Half the time, it's just Scottish gibberish that comes out. He won't mind me saying that.
No, he's Scottish. He can. They've got
Yeah.
thick skin, them Scots.
They do. They love the patter, as they call it.
Patter. That's a spread, isn't it?
That's pate, isn't it?
Pate, that's the one.
Oh.
Dearie me. Welcome back to AEC,
I love
guys.
doing this. Yeah, just another day. Arch is on a lap, and Wexrow has come out to greet him. Not literally, just with a slipstream. He'll wave him on through by the end of the 1.2 kilometre long back straight. And Arch, I did notice he ran wide into turn 1 on his first attempt. He's got that hooked up this time though, and has found almost 2/10 in the first part of his lap, picking up the slipstream. Top speed, about to reach 210 miles an hour, loses a bit of the speed from the absence of the slipstream before he hits the brakes down into turn 6, but he's had a bit of a slide through the mid-corner. It's not a particularly tidy exit either. Coming out of turn 7 through the kink of 8, the second DRS zone, and onto the banked turn 9. Of course, it's very slight, but it does make for some fantastic racing on the multiple lines available to drivers. Sector 2, now into Sector 3, and he's greeted again by the hotel flashing in the night sky as the sun has dipped well below the horizon now. PSR Arch getting all over the inside curbs and making it seem like a very nice lap as we jump on board with him into the final corner and up to the line for PSR Arch. He's gone 7th. That'll be his job done in the session. He'll return the favour now to Wexrow, and the champions can see how high they get up to.
Yeah, I think there was a few mistakes in the second sector as well for Arch, especially at the chicane between straights. So I'd say there's still a 10th or 2 in that, but unfortunately he won't get the chance to show it. But still, P7, not too bad. And now, as you said, he's going to have to wait quite a while for Wexrow to come round because he's given himself a very big gap. So hopefully no mistakes on traction for Arch and spinning in front of Wexrow. But who have we got on a lap? Josh Gilly starting his lap. Bobbitt's on a lap in P10, 3 tenths up on his middle sector. So currently on course to go. Wow, that would be P3. So if Bobbitt can get a nice final sector, and who knows where he can go. Gets it tucked in nicely through the right. Now in the left, got to use all the track on the exit. Doesn't use too much. Maybe a bit cautious on the final run. Doesn't want to invalidate or make a mistake. Penultimate corner, easy flat. Now you just got to send it and hope for the best. Gets right on the inside curb. Uses half the curb on the exit. And it is P3.
Oh, yes.
Very good lap from Bobbitt. And Shazoo are now P3 and P4.
I was watching Stonks as well throughout that. He matched his first sector to the 1,000th. He was 200ths down in the middle sector, but the final sector, it's all come undone for the Dutchman. And he won't be able to prevent, for now, the Shazoo second row lockout. And that'll be big in their battle with FRT. They are 12 points behind them. Right, who else is out there?
Oh,
at the moment?
no,
Liam Bowman
no,
started his run. We've got a no somewhere. What is it?
Wexrow was 6 tenths up, and
No.
he's been completely blocked, and he's got a penalty for it. So
Oh.
I would say call for a restart, but I don't think Wexrow will care. But that was very silly. I'll clip it just for the sake of clipping it. But basically came into the third to last corner and got completely blocked by the Ferrari of Qui. So just not checking his mirrors, preparing the tyres. And unfortunately, it's cost Wexrow dearly as DRT Lou crosses the line and does not improve.
Yeah, and I believe Arch has stopped at the penultimate corner as well, as there's another Red Bull coming on through. It's BRT Gabor. He's up on his time in the middle sector. He's found a little bit more time in the final sector as well, and it's gone 5th. A good effort again by the team that actually qualified quickest in yesterday's World Qualifiers, excluding the already pre-qualified teams. Arch takes the checkered flag. Stokey will be next to see the checkered flag and complete his lap 5,000ths down on his personal best. So close. Liam Bowman, though, rounding the final corner, getting so close to the white line, has lost time and does not go on to pole. So Ogween, who again has matched his middle sector to the 1,000th, looks like he has it nailed on here, rounding the final corner. The team who have taken 1 win in the championship, he's got even quicker. Onto a 21.4 for NRX Ogween. And that is a fantastic lap, but can anybody beat it? Quee round in the final corner, 2.4 second improvement, but of course it wasn't going to be enough with the lap time that he had. Ginge on his no assists, possibly debut, we'll have to check on that one. It's the last car to cross the line, and, well, despite all that, NRX Ogween, quickest.
Yeah, very strong, just showing off at the end there. Gained another 10th on his personal best with a 0.4. The first man into the 0.5s and the first man into the 0.4. So very strong from Ogween. But crucially, NVR versus NRX is the battle that everyone's going to be looking at. And NVR have 2 cars in the top 6, Lagreef down in 12th. So yes, NRX are on pole, but Lagreef is going to have to put a momentous shift in the race to try and get up there with the NVR boys.
Just a reminder of the championship order. PSR champions on 207 points, NRX on 120, NVR on 116. So it's the two teams fighting for seconds that occupy the front row. And Shizou, who are after 5th, and with a miracle, I believe it's possible. I believe they need 40 points or more. They're on row 2. Gabor and Stonks on row 3, Lou and Arch on row 4, and I've just seen a comment saying that Arch is actually potentially running a little bit lower wings based on his top speed, so he might come good in the race. Rain and Josh Gilly round out the top 10 ahead of Firmsy, Lagreef, Simbarox 1 and SLR Nika, the 2 SLR boys on row 6. Row 7, GSR Sam, Wextro, who'll start last, Jacob, Ginge, Quee, and then GSR Jake rounds off the order. He'll need to go to the stewards because he's well outside 107%.
Yeah, good mention though for Shizou. As you said, very strong performance locking up the second row, and I think they won't mind me saying they've had a bit of a rough patch recently, Shizou. Maybe not on the PS side of things, but Xbox has been a bit shaky, but looks like they're in a good form at the moment. They've got Ilton, Bobbert, Stokey, I'm sure I'm missing a few, but they're looking like they can definitely challenge on Xbox at least, so it's good to see them back fighting at the top. And let's see what they could do in the race, because they've got 2 cars to fight with against NRX's 1 and MVR's 1 on the front row.
Bobbitt's loads of experience, Stokey loads of experience as well. It's really come good for those in the qualifying session. I think console esports needs them at the top. Always been brilliant, brilliant hosts when SRC was about as well. You cannot fault them as a team, and what they've done to the community, and now making really smart offers as well for drivers and starting to expand their roster again. So good on you, Shizou. We are very pleased.
Are you on the ready up duty?
I've said 28, which I think is fair.
Yeah, that's all right. Well, we've got 2 minutes to kill, so have at it.
2 minutes to kill. I mean, we can get the questions going again.
Yeah, come on. Let's have some questions.
Wexro was my Sunday night guest. He had a lot of questions, including what was his PIN number. So I don't know if we get anything like that.
And he actually announced it. So
he said his PIN number.
Yeah.
Am I excited for the qualifiers? No.
Oh.
Sorry.
No, AEC. I thought he meant World.
the rerun. No, the AEC. It'll be a lot of fun because I've never heard of half of these teams. If I go in the sign up tier 1, no, tier 2 will be funny. Team Virtual Racing Academy, Invictus Racing Team, Pulse Motorsport Racing, Realistic Racing Team.
What?
Swift Racing Team, Luminous Racing Team. That sounds awfully similar to what FRA was going to rebrand into, which was Lumen.
They've just searched up a fancy name and added racing on the back of it.
Slipstream Racing Team. It'd be funny if they ever bottled the toe.
It really, they've set themselves up for failure.
Formula Racing League Esports Team.
What?
Velocity Esports. XPG Esports. I've sort of heard of them.
No,
Power Racing Team. High Performance Racing.
I didn't know there was this many teams on console, let alone signed up. Bloody hell.
LMFJ Esports.
LMFJ? I thought that was a car on GTA. Bloody hell.
Hyper Esports. ETE will allow their
Yeah.
their FGE, yeah. I mean, it sort of gets more normal the more you scroll up. DLR FP1.
The DLR. They've named it after London Transport System. Brilliant.
Oh, God. BRT. Yeah, those are quite normal. As you scroll up, it gets 30 teams. The first lobby is at 11 a.m.
That's actually that's boggled my mind. I didn't know there was that many teams of drivers or whatever. I'm assuming this is for assists.
Yes, that's tier 2
Okay,
assists, yeah.
Right, okay. DLR.
I agreed to cover this, so I best get researching. Hang on a minute, the countdown's not coming, but the lights are on ahead of the drivers. And they're out, and we're underway for the final time in the AEC mini-series, and it's Ogween who's getting away well, but Bowman's got the inside line into turn 1. He's committed. He bangs wheels with NRX Ogween, but Bowman is through and up into the lead on the night where they can secure and they could duel for P2 in the AEC mini-series. Who will go down the inside into the infamous turn 5? Ogween thought about it, but he didn't quite commit himself to it because he's going to have the long slipstream, 1.2 kilometres worth, down the back straight and in towards turn 6. Oh, that's an almighty crash in the background between Simba Rocks 1 and BRT Lou. Ooh. And that is going to deploy a virtual safety car, and Ogween's had to put his move on hold.
Yeah, he just sent out the inside as the VSC came out, and Stonks is just overtaking Gabor under VSC, and I think he's been given the position. So, I'm not sure about that one, but we'll brush over it briefly. But yeah, good start from Stonks up until that little moment. He got past, I believe it was Stokey, who's really dropped down the field. He's lost out to Stonks, Gabor, and I believe PSR Arch, who's up 2 positions. So a bit of a chaotic start. I'm not really sure what happened in the back. I didn't get the chance to see it. But I'm assuming the VSC will be finishing very shortly. So back to you, Joseph.
Yeah, PSR Arch on the softs, FG Jacob, medium, Wexro also going on the softs. I mean, they're just going all out now that they've won the title. I do rate it. And FG Quee as well was doing that medium practice, has started on the bastard things as well. So maybe it was for good reason. Liam Bowman leads at the end of lap 1, and it's conveniently, when we go racing again, it was like a mini safety car restart, just without the physical safety car. And Arch, having a look down the inside at turn 1 on BRT Gabba, wasn't quite able to get it done. The whole soft strategy relies on you having to make these early moves quickly and effectively. He's going to have to make the lunge down the inside into turn 5. This time it's the Red Bull opening up the door, and through goes Arch into 5th.
Yeah, them softs have got so much more grip. And Stokey, by the way, losing positions again. I think he might have damage, possibly, because he's just dropping down the field. So FRT rain up into 7th. Gabor going to try and make the move back on Arch and ahead. Stonks and Bobbert's going side by side. Stonks is a man on a mission at the moment. He gives all as little room as he can, but it's all fair, all game. And now he's going to burn his battery down the 2nd straight. You want to try and get the outside line and hook it round. Bobbert's covers the inside. He's going to have to send it in late, is Stonks. And he does just that, but Bobbert's covers it off very nicely as FRT Rain has got past Gabor in the back.
He has indeed, and they almost make contact on the exit of turn 9 through 10 into the kink of 11, and then this is turn 12, the 90-degree right-hander, where it does tighten up throughout that section. So if we do see any committed moves, it usually ends in a few tears. But at the end of lap 2, Liam Bowman has led his 2nd lap of the race, and it's gone a lot better than it did last week. I think it was Chelsea spun around, Bowman was collected, and he had to make a comeback. Fortunately, it was damage-free. PSR Arch up into P4 has cleared NVR Stonks in P5, who attempted that move around the outside of Bobbert. He'll have to put that on hold and potentially follow the AlphaTauri through.
Yeah, PSR really making the most of these softs because PSR Wexro's up 7 positions and now he's going for a double move into the hairpin up the inside of Nico. Can't quite get his nose in on Josh Gilly. The door is shut, closed, and SLR Nico goes back round the outside. But yeah, these softs are working an absolute treat for PSR. Obviously, they are going to drop off quickly, but you'd assume they're expecting a few safety cars because if AEC finale last season was anything to go by, I think we're going to see 2 or 3 by the end of this race.
Yeah, that race still needs an investigation to this day. I can't believe we actually saw that live and in the flesh. Ogween, now with the helping of DRS, is very close to the back of Liam Bowman, but of course in no real rush to get the move done this early. They can't allow Arch to get away. 2 or 3 drivers running wide there and potentially picking up warnings on the exit of turn 9. You rightly say, PSR on a different strat, says JT, and we've lost a couple of drivers.
And there we go.
What a surprise! There's a safety car!
Well, as predicted, there is number 1 of, I'm going to predict 3, and PSR Arch not hesitating to get them softs off into the pits. Let's see what strategy NR Xfinity is cooking for PSR. Is he going to go onto the mediums or the hards? I would assume the hard tyres, but maybe they're going to go for the 2-stop, which completely understandable. Pit crew is out, and it is the medium, so Arch going for a double medium, you'd have to assume.
I had to process the joke for a minute, and I had a mouthful of orange juice. Oh my word. Yeah, well done.
The game's the game.
It is, the game is the game.
We do have fun.
My mouth's gone off. Oh, it's finished me off. Yeah, 6 cars came into the pit lane then, and Arch has dropped 9 positions after that pit stop. I mean, it's gone down well with the chat, and anything that gets us interactions is
Exactly.
very important.
I'm just helping
we take
out
that
the chat.
seriously, of course. Yeah.
I'm helping out the chat. No disrespect. Anyway, Liam Bowman out in the lead, Ogween P2, Bobbits P3, Stonks in P4, FRT Rain, who I was going to say was struggling a bit. He kept going wide at that long sweeping left-hander, but obviously safety car was called just after that. FG Jacob and FG Quee both up 7 positions with all the cars behind them pitting. RRT Ginge still holding strong in possibly his opening race with no assists. And yeah, going to have a bit of a stalemate at the moment because I don't see anyone planning on making a pit stop.
Yeah, it looks that way. Everybody... oh, no, we've got a Williams in. And I think that's Firmsy. So up in 7th. Good track position, having gained 4. Has had Jacob following in. He's sped into the pit lane under the safety car. No! No! Every time we see somebody do that. And I'm just wondering how.
Yeah.
It's got onto softs as well.
On a race, I can understand, but under a safety car, there's nothing, nothing to gain.
Just go slowly, even if it's 45 miles an hour. I'll tell you what, these guys need to try ACC, where the speeding penalty is brutal. It's a 30-second stop-go within 3 laps. That teaches you not to speed, rather than a 5-second stop-go, which you're likely to serve under the next safety car. Nope, none of that.
Bloody hell, yeah, that is rough. Maybe that's what the drivers need. I mean, you always see 1 or 2 people a race just speeding for no reason at all. Something I do wish is I wish it served it under that pit stop. Actually, no, I kind of don't. I don't know.
That sort of defeats the point of the penalty, yeah.
Yeah, it does actually, doesn't it?
Because he's dropped to last and it's a safety car anyway.
Yeah, just ignore that. I'm just trying to... My brain's in overdrive right now. Just trying to comprehend everything. Oh, resetting my brain.
Welcome back, Levi, by the way. He's very confused at the whole driver transfer, so...
yeah, he's always confused, poor Levi, but he does his best.
He does his best.
We could give a little run through of transfers if you want for our good ginger friend over here.
Do I get the Sky Sports transfer music on?
Yes.
We cue it. Okay, okay. Sky Sports news theme. I'll get an advert. Oh, I knew it. 6 seconds. It's all
no,
good.
you've got about 2... Wait, I'm trying to figure out how long... You've already got about 150 seconds. So... You've got noise suppression on, so it just sounds muffled. Oh dear.
It's not been a great day, has it? No. But yeah, Valor died, and that's all you need to know. Everyone's gone everywhere.
Yes. I mean, you can just To be fair, yeah, you can just read the tags in front of the names. I mean, that's probably easier than us doing a little segment.
Other than Stokey, who I think will always have FRA.
Yeah.
I think
Unless
there's a bit more.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
ESV Bobbits, bloody FRA
ESV,
Stokey.
They're not
Bobbits is
arsed,
quite
actually.
ironic. Ironic.
I've done that.
Oh, God. Oh, hey, what is it about AEC finales? Just drives me bloody crazy. It's an absolute NRX party in the chat right now, because this is probably the first time anyone's seen Levi speak in about 3 weeks, so everyone's making the most of it.
It's great.
But, yeah, I assume the safety car will be in this. Well, wow, look at that. It is in this lap, so let's see what is going to happen. I don't think anyone's going to really challenge. It will be a bit of a DRS train, but maybe Stonks. He looked very aggressive on the opening stint, so let's see if he decides to go for the move on Bobbits.
Bowman took the lead on lap 1 at turn 1. Could there be a switch here? And Alguin maybe tries to go for it straight away. I doubt it, considering the nature of the circuit and the strategies both of them are on. I'm sure will want to get into the first pit stop both in one piece. We'll do a little bit more of the maths later on when the race starts to filter out with the final pit stops. But away Liam Bowman goes, but Mylander is clear. He's off into the pit lane and we can get the race running once again. The start of lap 7, it's Liam Bowman ahead of Ogween, Bobbert, Stonks, Rain, Gabble, Gilly, Lou, Quee and Ginge, your top 10. And then the remaining 8 drivers have all made pit stops, looking to do potentially a double medium stint here. Josh Gilly is already on the march and wide goes Gabble. He's rejoined 3 positions down and wheel to wheel with PSR Arch if the game wants to give me a good angle. Here we go. On board with PSR Arch, down in towards turn 5, and he's up into 9th.
Yeah, Arch just getting past RRT Ginge at turn 1 as well. Didn't make it too hard for him, and now he's on the bounce. He's on for FGE Quee as well. FRA Stokey also making the move on Ginge, and he's going to be looking to get past Gabor. But Arch really making the most of them fresh mediums as he goes down the inside of Quee. How hard is he going to fight it? Ogween, what's happened up front?
I don't know, it looked like a rear lock or something to me, and everybody just piled into the back of him, including Bobberts and Rain, who were just blocked on the entrance. Bobbert down into P5. Ogween manages to retrieve 4th, but it's an NVR 1-2, and they are absolutely securing 2nd as it stands. Further back, oh, there's an Alpine. It's Stokey who's gone around at turn number 9. It's so easy to do, picking up the throttle too early potentially, and around goes the Alpine.
Yeah, I wished I saw what happened really at the chicane, because all I saw was Ogween back sideways. But yeah, Lagree just made a move on SLR Nico as well, but it's not going to be enough to mount the NVR 1-2 at the moment. Really going in dominant fashion. Stonks looking very strong, as I said, getting up to 2nd. But PSR Arch getting past BRT Lou, and I've got the worst audio ever. Oh my goodness. But yeah, I'm sure we'll get some clips of the Ogween incident after. But always seems to be something with NRX, doesn't it?
It's you again.
Speaking from experience.
Yeah. Yeah, they won't appreciate your bad luck. I think. I mean,
No.
you won the tournament, but every time there just seems to be something that happens. It's never done easily. We'll just say that much. Yeah, they were all piling into turn 1 behind. About 4 cars all trying to fight for the same bit of track. And further forward, are we going to see Arch pick up another move here? He's pulled to the inside of Josh Gilly. He looked like quite a long way back, but certainly the lower downforce setup helping PSR Arch, and he's almost back into the position he was in before the pit stop, which was, I believe, 4th. Now he's up to 6th. About a 2nd behind NRX Ogween, who sits in 4th. First, he's got to clear Bobbert, who's perhaps not having the best of runs at the moment, following the moment at turn 6. And now on board with PSR Arch, he's lining him up. He's got the exit. Bobbert's having a slide, and Arch easy pickings up to 5th.
Yep, good stuff from Arch. PSR Wextro in 13th, not really making the same progress as Arch, but he's a manager, you can't expect too much. So Arch really coming alive on these fresh mediums, but he does still have to do, I assume, a hard stint. But I know absolutely nothing about strategy, so that is all up in the air. But he is looking now at the rear end of NRX Ogwyn. RRT Ginge, I think, has just retired in the pits. He's had enough. You can imagine the Scottish frustration from here. I think I can hear him from the pit lane. Josh Gilly, by the way, going for a move on Bobberts. Bobberts burning a bit of his battery to stay ahead. But Josh Gilly looking quite strong here. And it's all bunching up right at the front. Maybe Liam Bowman thinks about giving Stonks DRS. I mean, that's a possibility because at the moment, FRT Rain looks like he could really make a move. He's got the DRS, but he's not burning any energy to get past. Stonks is looking pretty scarce on the energy front. Ogwyn, the man with the most battery, so he's going to have to try and fight back through. As FRT Rain has a huge snap. Not sure if you caught that on stream, but Ogwyn's going to be looking for the move now because he knows Rain is on the struggle bus.
Yeah, FRT, who were a toenail's distance away from victory in round 1, could it still be on for them tonight? Though he's got Ogwyn and Arch all over the back of him. Ogwyn might be forced into a move on Rain if Arch picks up the pressure a little bit. And again, he's had a blistering exit coming out to the final corner. And he might go down the inside into turn 1. He thinks about it. Ogwyn slightly offline, but is able to carry the speed anyway. And so he stays in 4th for the time being. And while one Scotsman has retired in the pit lane, the other one continues to lead here. And if you've ever heard Bowman's parents, yeah, you will know how patriotically pleased they are for him right now.
Well, as someone who has not heard Liam Bowman's parents, I'm going to go on board with PSR Arch because he's burning a bit of his battery to stay ahead of Ogwyn. He's forcing him to use FRT Rain, not going for the move. Ogwyn having to defend the inside slightly. He's tapped FRT Rain, bit of a late move, trying to get out of the way of Arch. That's not ideal for Ogwyn, but it looks like no harm done really. But FRT will definitely have a look into that after the race. But at the moment, everything's standing still. But BRT Gabor and ESV Bobberts side by side. Bobberts just taking the position as NRX Lagreef and Firmsy also side by side. A lot of battling going on now that DRS is activated. Lagreef on them fresh mediums as well as Firmsy. But Lagreef does not have the ERS to play with, only on 5%. So he's just going to have to try and tag along with this train.
Yeah, we've been told to sack off Greenhorn and keep you, by the way, by Smeggy. So I don't know what you think of that. Here goes Arch. Oh, what a move at the final corner. And I don't think I've ever seen a move into the final corner, but Arch has just proved me wrong and made me see one in front of my own eyes. Jenna says his mum scares me. I agree. Bowman's mum, she's not to be messed with. That's all I'm saying on that one. Rain on the back of Stonks. 2/10 the gap. Stonks has lost 2 seconds to his teammate Bowman, and so Rain might have to go for it here. Little bit of ERS usage, pulling to the left-hand side already. But Arch with the double slipstream here, and of course the lower wings might go from 4th. Down the inside and into 2nd with Rain having a bit of a rear lock-up. It's going to be tight. It's a pinch point on the inside of turn 7. But Arch makes his way through and he can attack the race leader.
Yeah, MVR Stonks not happy about getting overtaken. No, FRT Rain on the inside. Stonks is going to have to send it deep around the outside. They go side by side into the long left-hander that never seems to end. And he's just going to hang it in, but Rain forces him, closes the door. But I think that's all fair game. Hard racing. Stonks has to remain in P4. And the man on the move at the moment, Josh Gilly, he's past Bobberts. He's got a lot of battery to store, and he's now on the back of Ogwyn, who seems to be struggling slightly, but he's getting back into a rhythm.
The tide has turned in the battle between Shizou and EXR. EXR on 52 trails Shizou by 17. Bobbert's still in 7th. Stokey down the order, out of the points in 16th. So this could still go down to the wire. I've also been told no practice as well. And I apologise about the choppy audio. Again, nothing's going to be done about that, is it? It's bloody Codemasters. They've said they've fixed a glitch, but left it in multiplayer. So that says you all... Well, that says all you need to know about that fucking terrible company.
Yes. I also don't know who's in the Aston Martin. So, you know, that you mind giving me a bit of a heads up. I have no idea what team is in Aston. I've been trying to figure it out while you're talking, but I'm not sure. It's Ogwyn, by the way, just behind Stonks, but doesn't go for the move. Stonks has got no battery. Rain has no battery. Arch has no battery. Ogwyn's still got a lot of battery to store, and I think he's going to use it for good use, too good use, because he's in the slipstream of Stonks, in the double slipstream of Rain ahead, goes to the outside, and as we saw last lap with Stonks and Rain, he's going to have to send it all the way around the outside. Is he going to go for the switchback possibly? You bet he is, but now you never ever see moves around here, and for good reason. Ogween backs out and sees the two flashing lights ahead of him. He knows that if he wants to pounce and keep with Arch, he has to do it now.
Absolutely. Ogween thought about going around the outside. He'll know that there's not actually a lot of grip, maybe compared to the previous game where you could hold it in the higher gear and there wasn't too many marbles offline as well. So yeah, maybe you could get away with that, but he'll certainly have to commit to the inside if he does get the opportunity to. Thank you to everybody, by the way, who's been tuning in as always, loyal as you are, watching the final round of the AEC mini-series. We're almost at half distance, and a reminder, we start the season in Qatar in 3 weeks' time. Arch 1.2 seconds behind the race leader Liam Bowman, and he should have DRS by the end of this back straight. And down in towards turn 6, we've got a yellow flag, and it's for SLR Nico, who's come a cropper at turn 5.
Yep, NVR Stonks going for the move, by the way, on FRT. Rain, and Ogween's going to try and follow him through. He gives Stonks a bit of a nudge. They're all breaking so late. Ogween's going to have to try and hold it around the outside. FRT Rain giving absolutely no room there. Ooh. A bit of hard racing between the two, and now Ogween's got the spare battery to use, and he's going to fly past Rain, who, yes, he does have DRS, but he doesn't have the battery to fight. And Ogween into P4, now right behind Stonks, but crucially Stonks does not have DRS on the car ahead.
He doesn't. Oh, it's 3 wide almost. There's 4 cars all going for him. Gabon, no! That's not good. That is not good. And there's safety car number 2, as you rightly said, as I believe he might have just put it into the wall on his own. I didn't see any other car with him or dropping down the order, but this is going to trigger pit stops. Bowman and all the other hard runners can get onto mediums and get away with it, but Arch can take his second set of mediums, be on the same strategy as everybody else, and be in a net second and take on Bowman for the lead. This is exactly what they were hoping for.
Yep, Arch, as you said, going on the fresh set of mediums. This is a basic, fresh reset for the whole race. This is basically a red flag with a rolling start. Everyone's pitting onto new tyres, all 16 cars in the pit. It's looking very busy. Ogween, did he jump Stonks in the pit lane? I think he might have. Yes, he has. So Ogween up into P3. That double stack Lagrief making a position on, I believe, BRT Lou in the pits. So Lagrief now into 8th. And Lagrief doing a good job. He's slowly coming through the field, coming up near Stonks now. So if NRX can challenge MVR, Lagrief definitely getting himself in a position to do so. But yeah, every single car on the grid is on a fresh set of mediums, besides FGE Jacob on 4-lap mediums and FGE Kui, who's just gone on to a fresh set of hards.
Absolutely. Well, this changes a lot. Like you said, it is basically a red flag, because the nature of the game is you pretty much have to take the opportunity under every safety car to pit. Otherwise, yeah, you might as well just not bother. Just a few shout-outs. We've had followers from Duncan and Harrison as well. I've had some requests to Brett's. I think that's because Brett was in the chat earlier. So, yeah, I'm sure they've been dished out. Mr. Kettle says Loveland is on comms. Since when?
Yep.
Since 52 minutes ago.
Amen. I believe I'm doing fortnightly commentary in AEC, if I'm not mistaken. Me and Greenhorn are switching, or alternating, I think. So, yeah. Get a break from me every week. I might be wrong, but JT can tell me if I'm chatting shit.
A Fortnite stream would go so well, though. I think the
I'm
people
too old
want
nowadays.
to see that.
I'm too old. I'm getting on, Joseph. Can't be playing Fortnite. I'm joking. I'm not
Never
too
back
old.
down at the end of the day.
Never give up.
Never give up.
Amen. And that's the mentality NRX have to go into this next stint with. Never give up, never back down. Because
So
they're
we
on
can
the
do
back foot at the moment. And so he can do comms on Wednesday but can't pay his drivers. Why would I pay drivers? I make 0 profits from NRX. I have no intention of paying you bastards.
We won't go too much into the wages.
No.
Because that's obviously been a talking point. Get used to it, Arch.
Ooh. Oh, hold on.
And
Well, I think we have to
Stokey.
talk about this because I haven't heard about this.
What do you mean you haven't heard about this?
I haven't heard about this. What? They didn't get paid or?
No.
Ooh.
Well, the other way. What? I'm so confused. You've thrown me
I
off.
thought you were saying Arch and Stokey didn't get paid and they were angry.
Oh no, no,
Oh.
no! I'm not.
That would have been interesting. Ah. Mental
Why is
reset,
Wexro
guys.
decent on this game? I mean, with all due respect,
He's
there
never
are-
not been decent, to be fair. He's always been there or thereabouts.
safety car is in this lap.
Yeah.
No,
need a
that's not
water.
what we're getting at. B Hill, it's no.
No, sorry,
No.
I misheard. I'd like to clarify, Valor have fairly paid all drivers and all debts are settled. There is no problems with Valor. They've simply just closed on their own accord. Thank you very much.
It was the alcohol tax that went up. I think that finished. Zach says, "Request a fact." What have I got? Historically, the chance of a safety car here is 36%, but well, it's the F1 game. It's about 400%.
Yes, especially in AEC finales. I think
Yes,
the,
at Abu
the chance
Dhabi.
is 200%. So
Well, Liam Bowman on his second safety car restart. We're back to green flag running with 14 laps left to go of the AEC mini-series, and it's Arch now in P2 with seemingly lower downforce. He can take the charge and put pressure on Liam Bowman all the way down in towards turn 5 as they emerge over the crest and down the hill. He stays in front for the time being. There's very few moves, but unless NRX Legrief can go down the inside of FGE Jacob, who has to get onto that curb. A little bit of lag from the Hawaiian driver, which does make a lot of sense considering how far away he is from the rest of us European-based drivers. He'll tuck in behind the Frenchman, though, down in towards 6.
yeah, Hawaiian driver. Actually, haven't heard of that before. So good for Jacob. He didn't pit under the safety car, so he's obviously trying to go for track position. But as you said, if you don't pit when everyone else does, the tyre drop-off is absolutely crazy. As PSR Arch is side-by-side with Liam Bowman already. He's already going for the move, not waiting about, takes the lead. And PSR Arch, who I believe started in P9 or P8, is now up into the lead on lap 16 of the race. And Liam Bowman is going to have to settle in as we've got a yellow flag. And it is the Hawaiian hula-hulaing into the wall. FGE Jacob down to 16th. And unfortunate that the strategy will not pay off. And I guess we'll never know if it would have worked. But yeah, back to the front. PSR Arch leads on the restart. Liam Bowman P2, Ogween P3, FRT Rain up 5 in P4. MVR Stonks, Josh Gilly and Lagreef up 5. And look who is that in 9th. From 20th on the grid, PSR Wexro storming through. And he's now got his eyes on the FRT driver of Firmsy ahead.
Oh, don't rule out another 1-2 here. Wexro, he could take them on. I feel confident in him. Anyway, Arch leading on debut for his new team. What a great thing to say that is for anybody in PSR or just cheering on Arch in his next steps. Jacob did actually pit under the last safety car. It was just back onto some pretty nitty-gritty tyres. That's all I'll have to say. Unfortunately, he's down the order anyway. It is myself, Joseph and Loveland on commentary. Hello, Rose. It is great to see you. Wexro race pace, most underrated thing on this game. Like I said earlier, he loves a comeback.
He does. If he could qualify high up, I mean, the world's your oyster, Wexro, but doesn't seem to have the quality pace to back up his monstrous race pace. Lagreef struggling with ERS, just something I noted on this lap, struggling to hang with the group ahead, but he has had a good race, started in P12, now in P7, but it's not enough at the moment because MVR lead in 2nd and 5th, and I think they would comfortably take the P2 in the standings after that. But Ogween is looking quick, and he's right behind Liam, so you could see a move as DRS is enabled.
We'll let Bella Fox do the maths again for his Monday video because I'm not figuring out all these numbers. It's quite obvious that NVR have one hand on second in the championship. I'm sure the win tonight isn't their outright priority, even though it would be nice. Just get over the line and finish second in the mini-series and make a statement for the main 14-round season to come. I think it's 14. I'll double check, unless it's 12. No, it's 14. I was right.
Oh, my mic was muted. My bad. Ogwyn sitting in the DRS of Liam, who didn't get it on Arch, and he's burning every single bit of his battery to try and get in that DRS because Ogwyn's sitting there, not using anything, and he's just getting tagged along by the DRS. Stonk's also 1/10 behind Rain, so he's going to be looking for a move. He can see Lagreef in his mirrors, only 2 positions behind us. Arch gets a penalty, and that is big for the race. He's the only driver on the grid to have a penalty. So if we do inevitably see another safety car, he's going to drop all the way back through the field. But it doesn't really matter. They are the champions. But for Liam Bowman and for NRX Ogwyn, this is big. Because whoever can sit within 3 seconds of Arch is going to be the race winner.
Well, let's put a positive spin on this. He's pushing hard. He's picked up the penalty because he's got the fastest lap of the race. Well, it shouldn't count, really, should it, with a warning?
No.
Because you've invalidated your lap. That's fraudulent! That is a fraudulent fastest lap from PSR Arch. We're going back to the negatives on this one. This needs a rerun. I agree.
Joking.
Everyone
we don't
vote.
do that in AEC, guys. Liam has got DRS back, by the way, but Arch and Liam are basically both flashing. Arch has got 10%, Liam's on 20. Ogwyn's having a big smile on his face with 80% in P3, so he's happy to just sit back and enjoy the ride at the moment. MVR Stonk's still putting pressure on FRT Rain, but nothing really giving, as BRT Lou, he fancies a go at PSR Wexro, only 1/10 behind now, and he's going to get the DRS up the next straight, but so is Wexro. Looks like Wexro has a pretty good exit, though, has a slight snap. And maybe he'll be the one to make a move because Firmsy has a slightly poor exit. Wexro's burning that battery, but he's happy to stay behind. And for now, no moves being made besides Bobberts, who is into P11.
Yeah, he's having to start his comeback now as well. Stokey in P13. That is a points-paying position. He'll get 2. Jacob becomes the second driver to pick up a 3-second time penalty. He's long gone, though, down in P16, unfortunately. For him, it's wake up and race. So... yeah. You know, fair play for turning up. Fair play to Ginge for turning up. Clearly, he wasn't too comfortable with what he was doing tonight. Yeah, we respect the commitment of everybody, and I think that's a fair thing to say. Yeah,
for sure. Wexro nearly made a move on Firmsy. He was 2 attempts behind, 3 corners left, and he went very wide. And now BRT Lou sniffs an opportunity. That seems to be the closest battle, to be honest, at the moment, because we've got a DRS train from P1 all the way down to P14 with GSR Sam. So, oh, hold on, we've seen a collision. Josh Gilly's out.
Oh,
this is the 3rd safety car. Oh, that's a technicality. Oh, Lagreef spinned it onto the VSC. I'm sitting on the floor in disbelief. But he's just spun out of the hairpin, and you'd have to say NRX's chances of getting P2 have just crumbled away. I'm not sure who tagged Josh Gilly. I think it might have been Lagreef or Firmsy or one of the two, but that is unfortunate. Yeah, I'm on the floor.
We've got no real safety car. That's strange.
Yeah, that is strange.
They feel like they can pick up that car and move it away. It's all invisible anyway. Like, I'd love to see the little cranes like moving about and picking up cars on the game. But like the Latifi clean-up, everyone was like, "It's clear race." No, okay, we'll just let some lap cars through, and we'll just make it controversial for the sake of it.
Touchy subject, Joseph.
It is a touchy
deep
subject.
waters.
But if it's in 2021 now, it's almost 2 years ago, and if anybody can't hack it, then you should not be here.
True. Get over it, guys.
We'll allow that comment. It's only an F word, but anything worse, and there will be consequences.
Who's effing who?
Justin said, "I fucked him, didn't I?" Oh, Jacob, that's not good. We're green again, by the way.
Yes, we are. It looks like the top 5 are in their own train because Firmsy's 3 seconds off the back of them now with PSR Wexro, who started last in P7, and you'd have to say he's going to make the move because he already has. As Firmsy goes wide, BRT Lou trying to tuck into the slipstream. He goes past one. Will he go for the move on Wexro, or is he happy to stay behind? Sorry, Bobberts, he's not happy to stay behind. He goes up the inside on them medium tyres. Can he hang it around the outside? It's going to be close. Very fair racing from the two. Lovely to see. And yeah, good racing. FRT Rain looks like he's a man on a mission at the moment. Just 1/10 behind Ogween. And I need to catch my breath. So take away.
We've got 2 mini safety car restarts following the virtual safety car. 2 different trains here. And BRT Lou still on the inside of Bobbert. Oh, they would bang wheels going into turn 11, into turn 12. Bobbert is going to get forced out wide. This can invite Firmsy to go all the way around the outside. There's going to be a wall in his way. There was never going to be much room out there, and that might be some front wing damage, and indeed Firmsy is coming to the pit lane as well for FRT.
Oh, and he sped as well. I think we're going to see an early retirement here because it's all going wrong for Firmsy. I mean, fair play if he continues. Obviously, that's what you want to see, but yeah, it looked like his nose was somewhere it shouldn't have been. I think he could have backed out maybe, but I mean, it's a mini-series. I don't think anyone's actually going to report anything, to be honest. So, a learning note for the future, I'll call it.
Yeah, absolutely. Bellerophon's not too happy. I'll be going straight in the video, I imagine. Here comes Ogween. Oh, Liam Bowman, who's going for the race lead. Down the inside at turn 6. He bangs rear right to front wing of Arch, but he's through and back into P1 goes Liam Bowman. NRX Ogween here. He comes on Arch, who's boxed in. It's 3 wide going into turn 9 with Arch on the inside of Ogween, who's going the long way round and trying to as well on Liam Bowman. They've all made it through cleanly, unbelievably, but Arch has lost 2 positions in the space of 3 corners.
Yeah, that DRS is so powerful. Arch in P1 doesn't have the effects of that, and he just gets absolutely swallowed up by Liam and Ogween. I thought Ogween was going to do both of them, which would have been sensational. Move of the season, possibly. But he didn't, as Ogween has a massive snap into the final corner. He's all over the place. Arch is giving him a little tap, saying, get on with it. And Ogween stays in P2, but he needs to rekindle his thoughts because he's had a very, very scruffy final sector. And yeah, he's now the man in the hot seat because he's right behind Liam Bowman. We've got 6 laps left of the race. It looks a bit impossible for NRX to win, but I think Ogween will want to win on track just for the pride of saying, I won the finale.
Yeah, why not? Why not? McLaren is around. That's SLR Nico. His teammate retired on lap 1 following the collision with I can't remember who it was, to be honest, who he went with, but oh, that's late on the brakes from Arch, almost getting into the rear of NRX Ogween, and we could see some more moves here. Here comes Ogween, we're on board with him. Which way will he go, left or right? Bowman covers off the inside, so it'll be the outside for NRX Ogween. It'll be a brilliant move to go around the outside of there. They come into shot now. Ogween on the outside still, wheel to wheel through turn 9, through 10, and through 11 as well. He's going to have the inside. Ooh. Oh, he's been touched, and he's had to go off the track. It's 3 wide as they come back on through the hotel section. Unbelievable. As still somehow they are clean, and they have made it through. At the end of lap 23, all front wings still intact, and Ogween now leading the way.
Yeah, I think Bowman just broke a bit late, not expecting the dirty air from Ogween, and I don't think it was intentional. I think he just missed his braking point. So back into the... I was about to say it's good to see clean racing, but then that incident came up. But it's been clean for the most part. Ogween now leading.
Oh,
Joseph James has crashed, so you are getting... audio only. Sorry for my deaf listeners out there. Stonks makes the move on FRT Rain, and they go side by side. Why is the interesting stuff happening when you're not here? Stonks into P4. FRT Rain tucks back into the slipstream. Is he going to make a move? Liam Bowman, Arch, and Ogween are 3 wide into the chicane.
Oh no!
You can't make this up. You've got Ogween being attacked by Rain. Arch and Liam are side by side. Arch takes the lead. Liam Bowman P2, but Ogween and Liam have the DRS. They're 3 wide again, going down the straight. I'm so sorry you can't see this. FRT Rain now joining. They're almost 4 wide going into the big swooping left. Liam Bowman leads. Ogween P2, Arch P3, and Rain in P4. I'm so annoyed you missed that. That was incredible.
I'm so gutted.
Incredible.
I'm
going to get you back in the lobby, but I hope I did a good job of visualizing it in audio. Stonks has just gone up the inside of Rain in the left hand in the final sector.
Sorry.
They're going side by side through the penultimate corner. You can't make this up. Into the final corner, they're side by side still. Rain hanging it around the outside. They've touched, but they're still side by side. Rain has to let Stonks go as Stonks is now into P4. Oh my goodness me. I'm trying to save this for you all, but my goodness. And now we do it all again, but it's just the top 3 this time because Stonks does not have DRS after that battle with Rain. So it's going to be a straight fight between Liam, Ogween and Arch as they come down the second straight. Liam slightly defensive, starting to weave Ogween in the DRS. No energy being used. It should be a simple pass up the inside if he wants to take that risk. And he does. Up the inside. Arch staying in third. And Ogween takes the lead. But he's not going to have DRS up the second straight. So here we go again. Liam Bowman and PSR Arch. I nearly said FRA Arch. Both DRS. They're burning slightly. Arch wants to get the move on Liam. And Liam going to the outside of Ogween. Can he make the move stick? He's going to have to lunge it around the outside. And he does just that. Arch is going to try and hold it around the outside as well. But these 3 still clean racing. Liam leads. Ogween second. And PSR Arch in third. Bloody hell.
Bloody hell indeed. Thank you so much for that. My audio just went and yeah, my game just shut off. So I'd like to once again give a massive fuck you to Codemasters.
I'd like to second that.
Doing that all if anybody wants a 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th that in the chat, that would be great. But yeah, I'm sorry that you saw none of what was evidently the best part of the race, but I don't think it's going to be over. I don't think it's going to be over, and I hope it's not over, because Bowman and Ogween for the race win. Arch with a penalty has perhaps scuppered the opportunity to win on debut for his new team. And by the way, closing in behind, that second train is starting to come in a little bit closer as well. A Joseph F on Gork on live. Yeah. I've said a lot worse, I promise. But here goes Ogween down the inside of Liam Bowman, and Archie's going with him. This time around the outside at turn 7, and he's got the traction and the inside through the kink of turn 8 to get in front of Bowman once again, who just like that has lost 2 positions. And Arch could potentially retake the race lead down the inside at turn 9. And maybe we haven't missed the best part of the race, because it's only getting better from here. Thumbsy out in the pit lane following his, whatever happened to him. I can't remember.
No. That was probably the best bit of commentary I've ever done, so unfortunately... Oh, that's big! Kind of. Liam Bowman gets a penalty, so it looks like Ogween is in the driving seat to win this race. Just needs no mistakes, no collisions, just get to the finish line. But as I was going to say, that's probably the best bit of commentary I've ever done, and you couldn't even see it. So, isn't that brilliant? Anyway.
It's not too late to take up radio broadcasting.
Maybe I should have, because that was actually very fun, and I'm out of breath and I had to make a water. But Ogween in the slipstream of Arch going down to the infamous turn 1, 2, 3, 4, probably 5. But he's going to get in the slipstream down the long straight, and we're going to see these 3 go together. Once again, we've got a yellow flag in the back. I think that's just Firmsy's car, for some reason, exiting the pit lane. I still don't know why they do that. But NRX Ogween, he's not burning. Liam burning slightly, and it looks like they're going to go side by side into the chicane. Or is Ogween going to sit behind? Yes, he is. And they're so close. You could fit a sheet of paper in between these 3 cars. Arch has a big snap on the exit. And are we going to see another double move like we've seen so many times besides the one I actually wanted you to see? But Ogween goes around the outside. Easy move. And he's into the lead with 2.5 laps left. It's going to be a big tactics game with the DRS. But Ogween does not need to take any risks as he does not have a penalty.
He's got to creep into every corner trying not to get a penalty. If he does get a penalty, Stonks wins this race, and he's got a second to play with, so it's going to be very, very tight. If Ogween does get a penalty and they manage to pull 3 seconds, this is going to be the greatest final lap you will ever see in your life. Yes. But that does rely on Ogween making a really poor mistake in the context of this race. Arch, a brilliant exit again. He's just slingshotting out of the final corner and down the start-finish straight. There's not much start-finish straight. But he's making the most of it where he can. Ogween, all over the place, and Arch trying to twist and turn his way through turns 2, 3 and 4, and will he go down the inside at turn 5? He can get DRS in the process doing that. He's just got to be behind at the white line, the DRS detection point. But here we go again on lap 28. PSR Arch in the slipstream, the DRS, and using his ERS as well. Oh my word, they bang wheels, and Arch, has he got the race lead here? Bowman's late on the brakes as well. It's going to be so tight into turn 7. It's so tight on the inside for Arch because he ran wide into turn 6. And here we go again for the second time. This time it's Bowman without the DRS, and Ogween trying to go the long way round with Arch on the inside. We haven't missed the best part of the race because it is still only getting better. Arch back into the lead, Bowman in second, but not giving it up, going into turn 11 and potentially 12 as well. Single file then into the final sector.
Yeah, NRX managers, please block your ears. But if Ogween had a penalty here, this would be absolutely incredible. Obviously, I don't wish that on him, but my God, it would be a good final lap. This is the final lap of the mini-series. This is the final chance for these drivers to make an impression. And NRX Ogween in the driving seat. He's got all the ERS. Arch on 20, Liam on 10, and Ogween sitting on 35. It's going to be so close. And Joseph, take us away. Who's going to win? Who's going to be P2 and who's going to be P3?
I'd love to. Obviously, it all lies on Ogween at the moment. No penalty. He's won the race. A penalty, a crash, anything. He's lost the race, and Stonks might just inherit it. Don't rule out Wexrow getting a podium from this position as well. I know that sounds daft, but you never know what can happen. Here we go. Liam Bowman on board with him as he pulls to the right-hand side as we switch to Ogween, who goes the other side of PSR Arch. And he's late on the brakes, and Arch is going to try and fight this back because he wants to be in the position to attack Bowman. But again, he's caught on the outside of turn 6, makes it tight for turn 7. He's had a poor exit. NRX Ogween trailing now Liam Bowman. Doesn't need to make the overtake, but I'm sure he'd love to anyway. Around the outside at turn 9. He's got to go the long way round. He picked up a few marbles there, so Bowman takes the inside and takes the position. But Ogween is still going for it. He doesn't have to take a risk here, and he doesn't in fact. Arch locks the rears, goes slightly wide, and that could be his challenge over. But for Liam Bowman, he's driven a brilliant race up until this point. He's had to fight with Ogween all race long, add Arch into the party, and it was a battle we can never ever forget tonight as Bowman takes the win on track. But NRX Ogween wins the final race of the mini-series. FRT reign up on the podium, their second P2 finish this season for FRT. NVR Stonks takes third, and there's going to have to be some maths here, but I think NVR might have taken second here. Yeah, but what a thrilling way to end the season. Not as chaotic as last time. We got so much good racing. You didn't see the best part, but my God, it was good. PSR Wexrow and P7 got overtaken by Stokey on the last lap. So Stokey, after that incident earlier, gets back to P6. Wexrow P7, BRT Lou P8, Bobbits P9, GSR Sam in P10, SLR Nico, FGE Quee getting P12 ahead of NRX Legrief. So good stuff from Quee, just keeping out of trouble and bringing home some good points for FGE. But that is the mini-series done. And Lagreef steals fastest lap at the end. Not sure if that's a point, but if it is, good stuff, Lagreef. But yeah, that's the mini-series over. And now we've got a long, well, I say long, 3 weeks is quite long, isn't it? We've got a little summer break until the start of the season. The winners this season, I believe we've had 6 different winners.
In 6 races?
I think so. I'll have to double check that. Not teams, but certainly drivers. FG, by the way.
Yep.
4 points. Well done to them. A really valiant effort, keeping out of all the carnage. FG Jacob will reverse across the line to officially round off the mini-series. That was a whole load of fun. The last 6 weeks have been very much incredible, and that wasn't even the main season where prizes... I think... I don't know. Yeah, we'll say there are official prizes on offer as NRX up onto the top step for the second time. And, well, thank you. You've been the unsung hero today, Loveland.
I tried my best. I'm getting off the rust from commentary, but
Yeah.
I'm standing up now. By the way, I've got a massive space where I can stand up. So when I was actually jumping when you couldn't see what's happening, I'm actually jumping. So my downstairs neighbour probably hates me, but get over it. That's life. Whew.
Final results then in the mini-series. Ogween, Rain and Stonks, your top three. I didn't quite predict that one. But from pole, Ogween takes victory. It was a brilliant lap with a 21.4 in qualifying. And that clinches him P1. Of course, statistically, the only driver ever to win from outside the top three here in Abu Dhabi was Kimi Raikkonen. So it was always likely that one of the front runners was going to win that FRT Rain within 1.6 seconds in the end. He was there or thereabouts all race long, so we can take great pride from that one. NVR Stonks, Liam Bowman third and fourth. Bowman guttingly missing out on the podium, as has PSR Arch. Those two giving us so much entertainment, along with Ogween in the final 7 or 8 laps. Stokey in P6, who beat Wexrow, and then Lou, Bobberts, Sam, Nico, Quee, Legrief and Jacob rounding off the points, with Firmsy, Josh Gilly, Gabor, Ginge, Jake and Simba Rocks won the non-finishers this evening. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us over the last 6 weeks. You are more than welcome to come back for when the main season starts again on the 23rd of August in Qatar. Fast and furious circuit, not one for the faint-hearted either. Thank you, Loveland, once again. Take care, everyone. Have a very good rest of your evening, and good night.
Oh.